Moving on, ladies and gentlemen, there are mystics and there is denial. And sometimes it's a case of downright stubbornness. The opposition's presidential candidate made big claims about being targeted by the BJP. It emerged that she misfired, but she only amplified her charge. What's going on? Here is the story and then we debate.
At 9:06 p.m. last night, opposition's vice president candidate put out this tweet saying, "Dear BSNL, MTNL, after speaking to some friends in the BJP today, all calls to my mobile are being diverted and I'm unable to make or receive calls." Soon after it emerged, she had fallen prey to cyber fraud. But instead of correcting herself, Margaret Alva spun a big brother is snooping charge with this tweet.
Opposition's vice presidential candidate Margaret Alva tweeted late last night that after making some phone calls to BJP leaders, her phone was misbehaving, that it was not in her control. On July 19th, in fact, Delhi police had come out with a statement saying that some fraudsters were phishing with phone numbers using MTNL logo and their services, and that people should be on the watch out. It seems that Margaret Alva, the opposition candidate, was either duped by those scamsters or more likely perhaps she was seeking some attention.
The opposition is trying to amplify the hogwash claim.
It is a very serious issue. It is an encroachment of the person's right. So it should be investigated and culprits should be booked.
And BJP is calling it childish.
I can say childish allegations, and she is a very senior person. At least she should not make such allegation. This is what I can expect and request her.
But is it all an attempt to create a bogey to eventually blame polling failures on? Let's debate.
On the debate, Aparajita Sarangi of the BJP, Pathikrit Pen, political analyst, George Kurian, political strategist joining us from Pune, Kapil Madan and Anirban Banerjee. Let me straight away begin by asking this question to Aparajita. Aparajita and George can come in right now. Question here is that Margaret Alva makes this claim of the big brother, once again getting into that snooping debate which has failed miserably. Now this comes at a time when it appears that she's understood that she's not making it. Jagdeep Dhankar was almost slated to get a minimum of 455 votes, which could actually shoot up to 533 if the YSR, Congress, BJD, BSP, JDS and Akali Dal supports him. Now, what's surprising is that a senior veteran leader like Margaret Alva makes a comment about snooping when the Delhi police on the 19th of July already warned, saying that there is a sharp spike in fraudulent incidents where MTNL's officials' name and logo are being used to commit cyber fraud. George Koren, you open up, and then Aparajita, I want you to respond.
A very good evening to all your viewers. I would like to begin by saying that the allegation that Margaret Alva has made, she could have avoided making such an allegation. As we all know, we are living in a new India where surveillance is a new normal. We have all seen in the past about Pegasus. So for a healthy democracy, it is important to ensure transparency, and at the same time, for the opposition, I would say that it is not right to question the government time and again, every time. Keep the exercise fair and not try to gain any attention.
Aparajita, what do you have to make out of it? Because this entire big brother claim that has been made, that too coming from a very senior, seasoned politician who's essentially tried to make it look like that, you know, that perhaps there would be some within the BJP who's going to do the indulgent cross-voting. But let's not forget what has really happened in the presidential polls, that there's been massive cross-voting. Assam's opposition leader has made it very clear that yes, we have cross-voted.
It's very unfortunate that a person of the stature of Margaret Alva, who has been fielded as a vice presidential candidate by the opposition, would make such baseless allegations. I will use 3 words: puerile, childish and immature. And I fail to understand why should she be doing this. I think the only reason that is coming to my mind is that she knows that the defeat is round the corner. She is going to get defeated, so she wants some attention. And a couple of days back, she was leveling charges against the TMC because TMC decided not to back her. She is coming out into the open every other day and making some kind of allegation against a particular situation or a particular political party. I think this does not suit her stature. I have all regards for her. With a lot of regards, I would say this, that this does not suit her stature. Till 6th of August, I think she should maintain her composure.
But the thing is that...
See, it happens when one knows that one is
when you're losing. When you're losing.
Let me tell you, Delhi police and MTNL, yes, they're losing. Delhi police and MTNL have already said that these are all cyber frauds and these are not to be kind of taken seriously.
Okay.
MTNL has confirmed it. MTNL replied by making it sufficiently clear that they never asked for the
Okay, Kapil wants to respond. Kapil.
So, yes, Shravan. So, I would like to say here. Shravan, I would like to say here.
Aparajita, you've made the point. But Kapil, I'll come to...
She has spoken everything on the periphery. However, she has miserably failed to, make an unequivocal answer whether the government adopts to snooping or not. Whether the government has used Pegasus or not. I am asking a straight question.
Okay, snooping. You want... Okay, you don't even need Margaret Alva to answer that question.
The question was not for you. Question was not for you. Question was for Aparajita ji. Let her respond either in yes or in a no whether the government has used Pegasus or not.
So is this issue about Pegasus now?
Yes or no?
There is a lie.
Is this an issue of Pegasus? No, Aparajita.
Yes, let me respond. What is cyber fraud? Pegasus is not a cyber fraud.
No, one second.
I don't know what should I say here.
Okay, Pathikrit, respond. Pathikrit. Now we have brought the debate to snooping. I'm going to also talk about snooping because Kapil, you want to talk about snooping, I'll do that. But Pathikrit, first you respond and then I'll come back again. I'll come back to the snooping issue that, this entire hogwash that we suddenly see on the vice presidential election teams. You want to talk about...
She is the official spokesperson. Let her make her stand very clear whether the government
I'm talking about, Kapil, please don't tell me how to conduct it. Please don't tell me how to conduct. And I'm asking a simple question as far as snooping is concerned. You want to bring it back to snooping? Fair enough. But Pathikrit, you respond and then I'll come back.
What is cyber fraud? I am just asking you whether a cyber fraud would qualify, whether a snooping would qualify as a cyber fraud or not. That's
Pathikrit is responding to you. Pathikrit, go ahead.
First of all, today's topic is about Margaret Alva, so I will just avoid and ignore some of these deviations that some are trying to bring. Number one, if you look at the allegations, they are so juvenile because that letter that Margaret Alva tweeted is the same format which was tweeted by Delhi police on 19th of July and she tweeted on 25th of July. Look at the format. This is not a way MTNL actually sends a letter. The name of the person is so fraudulent, Dev Anand. The customer business, there's no rank called customer business in MTNL. MTNL doesn't ask for eKYC like this. So this is, as somebody of her stature and age, she should have sought advice. Number one. Number two, if somebody knows the electoral college and the way election of a vice president happens, even if she talks to some people from BJP, that's her discretion. No, somebody in the power is not going to stop her from calling somebody because even if her phone is, stopped, she can call from mobile phones. She should have talked to MTNL before making these allegations. Number three, I'm just wondering, has she lost faith in this Maha Gadbandhan of the opposition that she has to call up BJP leader? So that's a very interesting, I found it very curious. Talking about the snooping issue, look, Pegasus, so far as I know, is basically sub judice. So let the judiciary court decide on that. Number two, for example, let me tell this with a lot of responsibility, Shravan. For example, if a Pakistani terrorist comes to India, uses a Pakistani SIM, activates his WhatsApp and does communication as was done during Balakot. And if there are agencies of government of India like NTRO, hypothetically I'm saying, if they actually track that and preempt a terror attack, would you call it corporate? Would you call it
No,
a cyber
I think so,
fraud?
Anirban. No, I just let me remind because Kapil likes to come back to snooping. Okay, Kapil, respond. Of course, you respond. But I want Anirban. Kapil, hold on. Kapil, you get agitated. No, one thing. You get agitated because whenever you are not.
reply.
At least, Kapil. Have some mercy. One second, Patikrit. Have some mercy. Anirban is waiting there. Anirban is also waiting for his chance. Kapil, you made your point. You talk about snooping. Let me also remind you what is it that Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had to say about snooping? You really want to know? And let me just quote. This is what Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had to say back in December 2010 when he defended his government's decision to tap phones of corporate leaders, saying it was for protecting national security and preventing tax evasion and money laundering. This is to qualify what Patikrit was saying. Anirban, I'll bring back the debate. I want to bring back the debate as far as Margaret Alva is concerned. Anirban, you respond to this. You've heard Aparajita saying what's this issue all about. On 19th of July, you have the Delhi police already warning that such kind of a thing is happening. There is a cyber fraud complaint, if I'm not wrong. Even a complaint of cyber fraud was registered, but there's no single tweet. Even now, I'm just checking. Even now, there's no single tweet clarifying her false narrative.
No, first of all, what Madam Margaret Alva felt that she is being unfairly surveilled upon. Therefore, she has every right to express her concern.
Anirban, there seems to be some problem with your video. Anirban, there seems to be some problem with your video. Let's try and fix that for you. But Kapil, you wanted to respond. You go ahead. Till the time we are fixing Anirban's video.
So yes, now my friend Pratik here made a remark that if there is some Pakistani terrorists here, then it is important for them to do some sort of a surveillance. Well, that is absolutely right. But the problem is the government was snooping the Supreme Court judges. The government was snooping bureaucrats. The government was snooping the leaders of opposition. That's where the problem is. That's where you cross the line. And that's the case where you want to use your power and resources not for any legitimate purpose, but to gain political and to inflict political injuries.
Okay, George Kurian, if you have... Okay, I'm running out of time. Quick points now from all my guests. George Kurian, I just want a quick response from you. Then I'll take the last responses from Aparajita and Patikrit. George Kurian.
Yeah, Shravan, I would like to say that the office of the Vice President is the second highest constitutional office after the President, and it holds very importance. And the Vice President is also the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. And so I wish her very good luck, Margaret Alva, although the numbers are not in her favor.
Okay,
and,
Aparajita.
There is...
Aparajita, one last word from you. We're running short of time now.
I can only say that we know we are winning, we have better things to do, so why should we get into such small things, such petty things? And somebody said, I want to hear yes or no. Now let me tell you, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. If I say yes, you will understand no, and if I say no, you will say yes. So it's better that I leave it, I commit it to your understanding.
Well, thank you very much, Aparajita, Patikrit, George Kurian and Kapil Madan and Anirban Banerjee for joining us on debate number 3. We'll be tracking all the stories very closely. The Bengal cash scam, a story that's been developing, and also this entire issue that Margaret Alva has picked up. Thank you for watching the debate.